fastest powerboats, driven by the world's top drivers, bumping and bouncing over rough, choppy water at speeds of some 120 miles an hour at this two-day Embassy Grand Prix meeting. There's no other course like it in the world. It's the powerboat equivalent of Monaco, and it's just as demanding, for there's no real straight, there's no runoff area, and it calls for the ultimate in human skill, allied to tough, fast, reliable boats. The weekend's races are going to count towards the Formula 2 ON World Championship and the prestigious John Player World OZ Series for the fastest boats of all. With competitors from 11 countries from both sides of the Iron Curtain, glorious weather and spectacular racing, Bristol is very much the place to be at. So there is the lineup, and the man to watch very, very obviously is Billy Seebold on the right, and next to him in the rather orangey and blue boat, that is Mark Wilson, the English driver from Southwater, son of the great ex-Formula 1 World Championship event driver, powerboats, Jackie Wilson. And away they go. Now, Billy Seebold and Mark Wilson have got the fastest line up to the first turn. See them absolutely leap out of the water, getting the minimum area, and it is Seebold just a whisker ahead of Mark Wilson, with in third position Pelle Larsson, the Swedish driver. Now they're coming up to the Hotwell Road, and even from a standing start they'll be doing over 100 miles an hour. Lap 1 out of 15. Billy Seebold leads as he comes up to the Cumberland Basin turn. And watch the boats drop down into the water as the power comes off and they flick to the left. Out goes Seebold. Mark Wilson takes a tighter turn. Pelle Larsson in third position. There is the race leader, Billy Seebold from St. Louis, Missouri. This is one of the greatest powerboat drivers of all time. They go past the SS Great Britain, which had been brought back from the Falklands some years ago and reconditioned from its awful state that it came back in. And lap 1, coming to the end of lap 1, Seebold leads. Mark Wilson in second place, and those two have got a considerable lead over the third place man, Pelle Larsson. In fourth position is John Jones, in fifth position Wilfred Wieland, and in sixth position Steve Coe. Now, Seebold punches away from the Princess Street turn up to the Cannons Road area, 100 miles an hour here, still bearing right. Now he starts to go left at the Hotwell Road turn, and this is a 120 mile an hour section for these 2-litre V6 two-stroke powered boats. Seebold leads. He has already today won his first ON heat, been into the paddock, changed his engine, finished a brilliant second to Renato Molinari, the Italian OZ driver, in the much larger OZ class, gone back to the paddock again, changed his engine for the second time, and here he is leading the second heat in his section of this ON World Championship class event of the Embassy Grand Prix in Bristol. Billy Seebold leads. Now he's coming down to the Princess Street turn. Watch him flick the boat to the left, and you'll see in the background next Mark Wilson. That is the gap between the first and second boats. Mark Wilson in the Hodges Mercury, Hodges Hull. There he is. That's the man who's leading the World Championship. He was third in Milan, he was second at Hanover, and incidentally at Hanover, the Italian driver Luigi Bonvicini was thrown out of his boat, and Mark Wilson there stopped his boat, got out of it, and undoubtedly by turning Bonvicini the right way up, because his head was down under the water, notwithstanding his life belt, he saved Bonvicini's life. Jackie Wilson then leading the World Championship, second in this race, having already been second to Bill Seebold, who is ahead of him now. There is the gap as they come up to the Cumberland Basin, and you look in the background, and in third position now, John Jones has gone up to third position in the Burgess Mercury. In fourth place is Wilfred Wieland in the Wieland Mercury, and Bill Seebold, there he goes, on lap 4, is leading by 3.82 seconds. He's lapping at 1 minute 15.3, and that is the speed of toughness to iron itself out before another boat hits it. And it calls for critical judgment in placing the boat. Cumberland Mason turn. Bill Seebold leads. 41 years old, 3 times a world champion. First at the Duke of York Trophy here in 78 and 79. And he has won an enormous number of international events in his long career. Now he's starting to build up a much bigger lead over Mark Wilson than he did in the first heat. It was only 2 seconds between Seebold and Wilson on heat 1. It is 3.9 seconds, as I talked to you. They're on lap 5, which is the 1/3 lap distance. In third position, it is still John Jones in the Burgess Mercury, followed by Wieland in the Wieland Mercury. Then behind him in 5th position, Steve Curtin in the Barracuda Mercury. In 6th place, as we look at the 3rd position there, it is Penny Larson. But now Steve Curtin in 5th position as the 4th place man John Jones comes up to the Cumberland Basin turn, is only 1.8 seconds behind. There we are in the background. You see number 27, John Jones, who is in 4th place. And number 24, Steve Curtin from Flackwell Heath in 5th position, and Curtin is catching. The gap at the buoy, 1.9 seconds. Curtin takes it much wider. John Jones keeps in very tight. The bank clerk from Cardigan. Now the Cumberland Basin. Meantime, Bill Seebold is through into his 13th lap. Through into his 13th lap in 2nd position. No change because it's Mark Wilson. And they are lapping at 1 minute 12.8, which is a speed of just a whisker under 88 miles an hour on this choppy water with these tight turns, with no straights, but with lots of curves. There's the leader. At the other end of the course, the Cumberland Basin turn, riding low in the water on the turn, looking over his shoulder, Bill Seebold, saying to himself, where is Mark Wilson? He saw for himself. The answer is far enough back for Seebold not to have to worry over much as he comes out of the SS Great Britain turn to complete his 13th lap. 2 to go. Engine sounding crisp, beautifully crisp, the V6 Mercury. Now you can see the sponsons riding over the water into the Princes Street turn. You flick it round. Past Cannons Road, up to the left-hander at Hopwell Road. This is a 100-mile-an-hour stretch. 100 miles an hour on water feels like about 200 miles an hour on land. You are very close to the water. You feel the hull of the boat pounding underneath you. And now Bill Seebold is coming up to lap 18-year-old Andrew Bateman at the Cumberland Basin turn. Bateman in the Hodges Mariner boat, who is in 8th position. So Seebold has now lapped everybody up to 7th place, and the 7th place man is Pelly Larson, that we were looking at the start. And look at the gap now that Bill Seebold, with superior track craft and a very powerful engine, has built up. 15 seconds is the gap now between Bill Seebold and Mark Wilson. And Seebold has just completed his last lap but 1. He is therefore into lap 15 as he takes the Princes Street turn. This is going to be his 2nd victory of the day, and as soon as this race is over, he will be back into the pits. And at the Princes Street turn, we're starting to get a battle now, because as Seebold punches away and Mark Wilson holds that 2nd place, Wilfred Wieland is starting to catch Mark Wilson. In fact, it's very close indeed, coming up to the Cumberland Basin. Very close thing for 2nd position. And there is the close thing. Mark Wilson in the orange and blue boat has dropped back and back and back from the battle he was having with Bill Seebold, who's almost home, coming out of the SS Great Britain turn. The checkered flag is ready. It's going to be another victory for 3 times world champion Bill Seebold. He takes the checkered flag, he wins, but who is going to be second? Is it going to be Mark Wilson? Is it going to be Wilfred Wieland? Wilson, the World Championship leader, is going to be Wilson. There he is. Wieland has not been able to make up enough time and distance, but it's 0.93 seconds between second and third as they take the checkered flag. And then in 4th place, but some way back, will be John Jones. And in 5th position behind John Jones, Steve Curtin. Yes, Jones finishes in 5th position. Curtin finishes in 6th place, 5th place, and in 6th position, Pelle Larsen. A second victory of the day then in the ON World Championship heat here at Bristol for Bill Seebold. In 2nd position for the 2nd time today, Mark Wilson, and in 3rd position, Wilfred Wieland.
Well, they really do fly, don't they? And it is like Monaco in another way, too. It's very, very noisy indeed. Very noisy, rasping machines. Now, that Formula 2 World Championship, there's another race tomorrow, and in fact, they take the best 2 out of 3 races over the weekend to decide the winner. Later on this afternoon at 4.
I predict a battle between Jenkins, number 9, the 4th of those boats from the right, between Billy Seebold, the 2nd of the 2, on the extreme right, Renato Molinari, the world champion, and also, of course, Tom Percival, and in goes some 400 horsepower from each of the OZ boats, and some 270 from Billy Seebold's boat, and it is Molinari who